What's up, everybody? Nintenjoel here once again, and it's pickups time. This is pickups number 37. Holy crap, we're getting up there. I never actually mentioned what number it is in the episode, but yeah, this is number 37, so we are getting up there. But I got a lot of pickups for you guys, lots of really good stuff. As you guys may or may not know, I'm filling up the shelf as quickly as possible. This is where I left the shelf last time, and I'm going to show you my pickups from the last, probably month and a half. I'm usually about a month behind. And then we'll go ahead and see what the shelf looks like with those games integrated into those. So without further ado, here are the pickups. Alright everybody, so we're just going to get straight into it. We've got a lot of pickups and a lot of different stories because a lot of these games came from a lot of different sources. Yeah, so first one I got for you guys, Super Arabia, which is like a really funny title in my opinion. I don't know, you just put super in front of a region. That's kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. It's like the Super Midwest. That would be the equivalent in America. Like, yeah, Super Midwest. They made a game out of it. You have to dodge tornadoes and look for cows that have been mutilated by aliens or something. Whatever goes on in the Midwest, that's what you'd play in Super Midwest, the American version of Super Arabia. So, Super Arabia I have not played yet. I got it for really cheap. I went into a place that sells lots of different stuff, and in the back a dude sells video games, and I had picked up a bunch of Famicom games before and left a couple, so I decided to go back for that one because the title intrigued me so much. And it's intrigued me so much that I still haven't played the game. So yeah, there's that. And then I got 2 Nintendo 64 games from a Craigslist ad, I believe. I'm not really positive on this story. This pickup video has been needing to be done for a while, so I don't really quite remember where they came from. But I got Star Fox 64, which I've been needing to get again. I had this a long time ago and I sold it, and now I plan on keeping it. And then the other one that I got that I was actually really stoked on, the whole reason I actually got the lot was for Gauntlet Legends. Yeah, I love Gauntlet games. And Gauntlet Legends is a decent game for N64. I can't really say that about many N64 games. I'm not the hugest fan of N64. However, there are obvious exceptions. Gauntlet Legends, pretty good game. Not bad at all. Okay, so next story I have for you is not much of a story at all. My girlfriend actually had a friend that had some Nintendo games, and she just gave them to her to give to me. So that was awesome. Thank you very much, Jessica. I appreciate that. And there were more. They were just, some of them were label upgrades for me, so I kept those and got rid of the ones with bad labels. Or they were doubles and I didn't need them, or I traded them and sold them off. So for the sake of the new shelf, I'm just going to show you what I kept. And that is this hard-hitting game. You guys are going to be stoked on this. I know I was. We got Sesame Street Big Bird's Hide and Speak. Surely a treasure among NES games for sure. And we got probably another winner. This is off of a movie that I've actually never seen, Days of Thunder. Is it wrong that I've never seen this movie? Or played the game? Keep in mind, all these have really good labels on them. I was actually really impressed. Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular. Another game I've never played, but always welcome in my collection. Hails yeah. Arguably the most uncommon game there. There's a slight ding on this label, but Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I never seen this in the wild, like, at all. I've literally never held a copy of this game before. I know it's not very expensive, but it's one of those games that's truly an uncommon game. And then same with this. For some reason, Galaga seems to be hard to get. At least this one, the Demons of Death. I'm not sure how many Galaga games are on the NES, but this one's actually rising in price a little bit. It's worth like 12 or 15 bucks, which is unusual for a Galaga game. But yeah, pretty cool. Thank you very much, Jessica and Jessica's friend, for hooking me up with games. I love games, in case you don't know. So yeah, next thing, this is an unusual one because I don't shop at GameStop, and yes, I got this at GameStop. It was a really good price. Disgaea for A Promise Unforgotten. I'm getting into the Disgaea and like tactical RPGs a lot more, so had to pick that up. It was a really decent price. I think it was like 10 bucks or maybe even less, but yeah, good score. And then recently I showed you guys Dungeon Master that my buddy Kevin picked up when he was in Florida. He picked it up for me, but he also picked up at Portland Retro Gaming Expo because he got to go and I didn't. Bastard. But yeah, he picked up a game for me, and I traded him something for it recently. I can't remember what, but I had the box for this already, so I was stoked to get the cart. Nintenjoel, Way of the Ninja. So now all I actually need is the instruction booklet. So if any of you guys know where to get an instruction booklet for Nintenjoel, Way of the Ninja for Super Nintendo, an unusual, fast-paced, almost action RPG-ish kind of game, yeah, let me know. But Nintenjoel is pretty interesting. You guys should check it out, because it seems like a lot of people don't really know about that game, and maybe, just maybe, I should do a review for it. And then, another game that people don't really seem to know about, and I know a lot of people were like, what? When I showed them this, but yeah, there is one shooter that I know of on the Super Nintendo. I'm sorry, not the Super Nintendo. There is one overhead shooter on the Nintendo 64, and as far as I know, there are no other shooters on that system because they didn't generally go with 2D graphics, but there is one true overhead shooter, and that is Star Soldier Vanishing Earth. And as soon as I found out about this game, I knew I had to have it. If there's only one shooter on the system, by golly, I need to get it. So, yeah, definitely had to score that. Believe it or not, I bought that on eBay. That is something you're not going to hear very often on this channel, nor have you probably ever heard it before. I actually had my eBay account deactivated for years. I didn't use it. And I was really after that game. Nobody had it for trade, and the price was kind of high on Amazon, and I decided to actually reactivate my account just to get Star Soldier. So, stupid story, but hey, pretty cool. Okay, so the next pickup I have for you is kind of a cool, kind of sad story. So the sad part is I got this from a video game store that is now closed. They were a couple towns over from me in Ashland, and their name was Zeppelin's, and they freaking closed. Sucks. It was a really small store, but the guy was really nice that owned it, and it sucks to see a video game store go down. But before he did go down, I did get one awesome deal from him, and that was Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. Saw it sitting in the case. It was like literally the only game I needed the last time I went in that store, and he gave me a deal on it. I believe it was 20 even, so it was not too bad, and I had some trade credit too, so that helped. Okay, so the next pickup I have for you is something pretty cool, kind of big, kind of console-ish. I went on to Craigslist one day and somebody had this beauty listed. Actually, no, if I remember correctly, it wasn't listed as a beauty. If I remember correctly, it said something like, I have a Sega, and all the cords, and it works good with a couple games. And I was like, what kind of Sega? So I emailed him, I asked. He didn't really know anything about it, so I went by and checked on it, and it turned out to be a Sega Genesis Model 2 with the 32X. But what's freaking awesome about it is it had all the cords. Every single cord. Every cord that was necessary to play the 32X. I had a 32X, I even have the box for it, but I did not have the cords. So now I do have a 32X with cords and another Genesis Model 2, which I believe is number 4 right now. I think I've owned about 10 or 11 of these systems so far. But yes, 32X, that's freaking awesome. So freaking cool that I finally have that system. I already had Virtua Fighter for like years for that system, but not for resale version. And then it came with 2 games, Star Wars Arcade, which is actually pretty fun. Seems like a third-person shooter. I don't know if all levels are like that, but yeah, it seemed pretty fun. And then the other one was actually pretty fun also, Metalhead. And this is like a mech, third-person view, kind of walk around and destroy the shit out of things kind of game. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And I think I paid $30 for that. I'm pretty darn sure it was $30. So a steal for a working 32X. Okay, so next story before we just get crazy on time here. This is actually just local game store pickup. I always have trade credit there. And this is one of the few times I called down to the store looking for something, and they just were like, yeah, we have that. And I was like, no way. Hold it for me. I'll be right down. And I literally went down there the instant they said yes, they had it. And unfortunately, it's on Xbox. I was hoping for the PS2 version. I'm still on the hunt for the PS2 version, hopefully, so I can play it a little more, because my Xbox is literally never hooked up. But it'll be hooked up for this. Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel. Yes, yes, yes. This game is supposedly like Fallout mixed with like Diablo and maybe some tactical games. I'm not positive, but when I saw footage of it, it looked freaking amazing. And it looks like it's starting to get pretty sought after, and a lot of people don't talk about it, so it's exactly right up my alley. And when they said they had it complete and it was in great shape, I was like, dude, yes, yes, yes. and I think it was $15, which is pretty much catching them slipping, I'd say. Alright, so the next thing I got from them, they told me about one of their employees, actually ex-employee, kind of sad, he was my favorite employee there, but one of the ex-employees while he was still working there said, "Hey, I think I have something you don't have," one day. And I was like, "Yeah, what's that?" And he's like, "I got this game. It's called Probotector." And I was like, "No way. Like the English Contra?" He was like, yeah. UK freaking Contra, baby. Yes, I got Probotector for $20, or maybe it was like 18, but all trade credit. But this is basically Contra. This is Contra. All it is in Europe they renamed it Probotector, and instead of humans, everywhere there's a human, there's a robot, including the main characters that you play. Amazing. So freaking cool. I can't really play it right now. I need a top loader, I think, to be able to play this, and I'm still not sure the frame rate is exactly right, but I full-on plan on finding a way to somehow play Probotector, because it won't play on a regular NES, it just sits there and flickers, but it definitely works, and it's pretty darn cool. I never thought in my life one of the few UK variants that I actually know about that I would get my hands on, and this thing is like mint. It is in perfect shape. And what's funny is he was like, "Well, it just came in, so you're going to have to wait for it." So I actually had to wait like 2 weeks for this game. So yeah, I was pretty stoked. And actually, same thing with this next purchase, and my god, the price for this that I paid was ridiculously low. I can't even believe it. Sword of Mana on Game Boy Advance, complete in box. Yeah, it does have some dings, but when you hear the price, you're going to be like, "What?" I paid $10 for this, complete in box. First, the price was more, and for some reason, they decided to check online again, and I didn't even ask them to, and they're like, "No, we'll just let it go for $10, and I was like, "Dude, yes!" And this was on hold, too. This was the same story as Probotector. I saw this, actually, when it came into the store. I was like the next customer in line from the guy that turned this in, and, yeah, I was like, "Dude, please hold that for me. I don't care when it clears, just, yeah. Let me freaking get a hold of that game as soon as you're able to sell it." And 2 weeks later, they gave me a call, and I went right down there and picked it up, and yeah, so stoked about that. Okay, so that's it for the game store. I only have one more set of pickups. This is from a trade, and this was from a guy on... I'm on a local gaming group called Southern Oregon Retro Gamers, SWORD for short. If you guys want to, you guys can feel free to join. It's not just local people. As long as you're a cool trader, a cool seller, buyer, you can join on there and, yeah, see what we have, or just post and see cool posts and stuff. But anyways, local guy that I know named Haven, that I actually met not too long ago. I think I actually met him at Picker's Paradise, the same place I got Super Arabia. We talked online a little bit about doing a couple trades, and we ended up doing 3 trades in a row. And I'm going to show you guys the first trade, which was really the heavy hitter. But yeah, this first trade was awesome, and he got some really good games for it. But what I got is freaking impressive. Really, really cool. I got Valkyria Chronicles on PS3, which is kind of a tactical RPG-ish kind of game. But yeah, it's interesting because you have like almost a third-person perspective from it, and you hide behind objects, and just really cool. So stoked to get that. And then he had a boxed copy of 1942, which was freaking awesome. So awesome. It's a little dinged up, but it's still in decent enough shape. And actually, I'm remembering what I traded him. I traded him a Hyperkin Superboy, the handheld Super Nintendo, and a few pretty good games for it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's what he got for this trade. And then I also got 1943. I've been on the lookout for 1942 and 1943 for ages. I used to play those games in the arcade all the time. I freaking love them, and I finally freaking have them. In fact, I even mentioned 1942 on a recent video, I believe. And yeah, I think I mentioned it when I got the Famicom release. But yeah, now I have NES and Famicom and 1943. I must say, I really, really enjoy 1943. The annoying sound isn't there, so that's pretty cool. And then a game that I have been after, second to last game. Game I have been after literally since I saw it in a Nintendo Power when I was a kid. And I have never actually held a physical copy. And when he said he had a copy that he might be willing to trade, I was all about it. This and the last game are just... I can't even believe I scored these, man. I've been after this game for so freaking long. Felix the Cat on Nintendo. Oh man, awesome game. You have a bag that like when you touch the bag it like changes you into different vehicles and stuff. You can use different vehicles like a submarine and all kinds of stuff. I've barely been able to play it. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into Felix the Cat. Just long time like little video game obsession I've had that I've been trying to get that game for so long, and I finally have it. That is freaking amazing. I'm almost more stoked about this than the other game, but not quite. Alright, so last game I have for you guys that I got. This completes a collection that means quite a bit to me. Quite a bit to me, and this is quite a score, and something I was quite willing to trade for. I finally got Mega Man 5, which means that I have Mega Man 1 through 6 on Nintendo, finally. And this game is just getting so hard to find. And ironically, what happens, as soon as I get this, a copy shows up in the local game store. I could have traded stuff in for it, but whatever. One thing is this card actually did have a little bit of damage on it. There was a little piece where the screw actually screws into the other side of the front, and it was broken off, so this was actually just like loose. And just on one side, and I actually managed to glue that tiny little piece back in place, screw the screw in very carefully, and now it's good as new. I mean, even if somebody opens it up, they might not even notice that it was like that, so that's pretty awesome. Glad I could repair it, but man, I played it for quite a while, and Mega Man 5 is awesome. I freaking love it. I love pretty much most of the Mega Man games, but especially the NES ones. Those are my favorites. I don't even care so much about the X games. It's mostly Mega Man 1 through 6, and finally getting that collection complete is just... it's like, what do I need for Nintendo next? Like, I actually wasn't sure, but I think Metal Storm probably is going to be my next goal. One cheaper game that I don't have for some reason, not like cheaper, but not really expensive either, is Power Blade. The second one's like super expensive, but the first one I don't have, so I'm going to go for like Power Blade and Metal Storm before that game's $200. But yeah, Mega Man 5, unbelievable how high that price has climbed, and unbelievable that I finally got it. So thank you very, very much, Haven, for that trade. Awesome to start trading with you, buddy. And we already did 2 more trades that you're going to see in a future pickup video, so keep an eye out for that. That's all I have for you guys. Let's go see what it looks like on the shelf. And there you go. As you can see, many, many pickups. Looks amazing on the shelf, integrated with all the last stuff. Really stoked this time. It really looks like a lot of progress has been made in just one pickup episode. So that's pretty awesome, and I'm really liking doing this new shelf thing. It's pretty cool just to see that many games grow and how many I get in such a short amount of time. It's pretty crazy, especially not spending much money. So that is pretty awesome. Let me know what you guys think of that. Leave a comment down below, and that would be awesome. And if you want to see more videos by me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's down there, it's red, and it says subscribe. Also, give me a thumbs up. That would be awesome. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you everybody that helped contribute to the collecting madness. Thanks again. Keep rocking retro games.